Hi, and welcome to the Art Club or the Art Break Club this Thursday. So I'm happy that you're here, and I'm sorry that I'm really white today. I had to change again the cameras because it wasn't working. I'll figure it out, I promise. But I have to do this YouTube stupid thing. But it's Thursday, which is my favorite day of the week, honestly. And also, it's my favorite day because I'm learning how to draw. And this is embarrassing. Yes, it is. I must admit that it is. But it's also very exciting. So why not? What the hell is happening here? Why can't YouTube always say the same? I'm really shit at this. I want to learn how to draw. I don't want to learn how to use YouTube. I'm joking. I need to understand that. But this is fine. I don't know why this is happening. What the hell is this? Yes, I did it. I think. Is this working? Yes, it is finally working. Sorry for that. I know it takes a bit, but I'm learning and I'm sorry for that. So today is Thursday, which means that we are learning, well, I'm learning how to draw, and I hope you want to do it with me. As you can see, I'm sorry that this is running a lot of interference for some reason today. But if I turn, is that okay? Yeah, we'll just keep it like that. So Thursday is the day where I learn how to draw, and I'm really happy about it because I've been excited about this all week, and now I get to continue this quite ugly sketch that I've done, but that I'm really excited to continue to do. So I hope you'll take a 30-minute break and either learn with me if you don't know how to draw, or you just have a 30-minute break with a sketchbook. You do a sketch, you play some music, you write something, whatever you feel like it, but have a 30-minute art break, let's say. I hope you're going to do that. So here I am trying to learn how to draw. So today we're going to tackle the eyes, and if I have time, hopefully the nose, the structure of the nose. So one of the things that they were mentioning in this bit is that actually, this part and this part are one the opposite of the other. So here you have two holes and a bony structure in the middle, while here you have two bones and a hole in the middle, which I thought was kind of cool. And also I think it's a nice way of remembering these kind of things. So I think it's really cool. Sorry, I just really jumped into this because I'm really excited. But for those who are new here, hi, my name is Jo, I'm an art jeweler, and I'm now hosting this art club where we can share our art, learn how to create, learn about artists, discuss about art, discuss about craft, what is art, what isn't art, how to make our art better, everything that concerns art, where we can have a place where we can share it without knowing that we have to sell everything all the time. So it's for artists and for aspiring artists and hobbyists and people who are creative people. Let's say for the whole spectrum of creative people who want to chat about this stuff. And every day of the week there is something different. So on Mondays we discuss a documentary. Check next week's documentary, which is on Hilma af Klint, and you can find it in my community tab. I'll also link it here below. And on Tuesdays I work here. I've actually kind of finished these earrings and I'm really, really happy about them. On Wednesdays we talk about craft. On Thursdays I learn how to draw, and hopefully you do it with me. And on Fridays we have an art news roundup, so we can all be in the loop and in touch and know what's happening in the art world. So yeah, that's what's going to happen, and let's get into it because I really want to draw. So now we're talking about the eyes. The first thing that I'm going to do today is the eyes. So according to this book, and last time I did this, which is this part here. Somebody, I don't remember her name, I think it was she, but their name, told me that it was better if I, instead of cancel, erase everything and then draw it again, that I drew the right line and then cancel the wrong one, if that makes sense. She said it better, or they said it better, but I'll try to implement that. And if you have other not mean comments, please don't do that. I mean, I don't need those, and I'm sorry if you're angry. But if you have constructive criticisms or advice on how I could get better, what I should do, I'd love to hear those, because I'm here to learn. So, and I don't need to sell my drawings, so who cares if they're bad. So to start with the eye shape, here it says that it's kind of rectangular, and then you have to have these very soft edges. So I'm going to start with that. You can see it over here. This is the shape. So I'm going to start so I understand what's the shape underneath it, because the idea behind this book, or the first chapter at least of this book, is that if you understand how to do the skeleton, how the skull actually is, then it's easier to do the rest. So I'm going for that. So this is the basic structure of the eye. According to this book, then I have to, then the inside part of the eye, so let's say that the nose would be here in this sketch. So I hope you can see something with this. Yeah. Hopefully. I hope my shadow is not too bad. I'll try to stay on this side. So here it goes to, let's say 0, and then it comes up a bit closer to the nose. So this is what it says to do here, and so having this roundish line. And then, so I have to take that away because we don't need it. So we don't need that square shape over there. Maybe I got a bit too much. That didn't look. I also again erased it before I actually decided the right line. But yeah, so that's it. That's like an arc. I think that makes sense. That's better, yes. And then it says to cut it in half, ideally, so somewhere over there. And then to make, can you see it here? These, like a V shape. So it doesn't start exactly from the corner, but just slightly below it. And it's like these. It's more like a heart shape, like a soft, wide heart shape rather than a V shape, and it mirrors on both sides. So it's something like that. I also today decided to use a very, very soft pencil, which is not, I think, ideal, just because it leaves these very, very dark marks, but at least you can see it. That's why I chose it. Not that I'm an expert in pencils. I think the last time somebody told me which pencils to use, I was 12 in secondary school. I think that's the last time I took an art class, which is sad. It's actually sad. I should take an art course. So that's it doesn't look like that. I think this is just a bit too much. So I'll try to smooth it out a bit. But I think this looks kind of like that. The point here is just too too high up, because instead of like following my lines, I decided that I was going to follow something else. I don't know, like my instead of following what was half in the rectangle, I decided to half this part here, which was shorter because we did this arch. So then it wasn't symmetric anymore, if that makes sense. But yeah, oops. I'm keeping my iPad on just because so I can see if some of you decide to comment. I don't know if then you can see it when it's not live anymore, but yeah. I'm sorry that I'm terrible with technology. So then the last part, it says that the last quarter of this eye goes outwards. So they are dividing it around here, and then they are basically like letting it curve a little bit more, so that this would go that way, and this would have an arch that goes in this direction. So we're arching it a bit more. I'm taking away a bit of this very like deep, and we're taking that away and that away. This is a mess. Like, I didn't think this was going to be this hard, honestly, but it is kind of a mess. But it's really lovely, honestly. And I think it's really challenging to just convince yourself that the right thing to do is to learn something new. I just think I love it, honestly. I just love it. So now this is the basic shape of the eye, and I hope you can see it, and we're gonna implement it in the skull. So that's the idea. So first of all, I think I'm gonna like understand where the nose would go, and based on this design, it would go around here. So it's quite a wide part between the eyes. Okay, so I guess that's... And then we need to decide where the eyes will end, which will be somewhere like there. Also, don't ask me why the first thing I decided to do it's in perspective instead of being like front or side, which I thought was going to be easier, but this is what this book says, so I'm going with it. And oops, why is my iPad not like working? Why is technology against me today? I feel like technology is not working with me today, but I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I really don't know what's happening. I can't see myself. I hope it's working. I hope you can see me, and I hope I'm not talking to myself, because that would be absolutely weird. So, that being said, so here we have this kind of going out and going in rather and out kind of, I did that a bit too much, kind of shape. So this is going out, and I already told you last time that I have this very bad way of making things better by just putting more lines in and just making everything more blurred. I think it's something that like people who don't know how to draw like me do, or maybe I just do it. I have no I don't think that's just like something weird that I do. I honestly don't think so. I just think it's just easier, and so other people do it. So this goes down here, and I think that looks roundish enough. It's very round here. I thought that was going to be like, here is quite square, but here with this perspective, it looks very round in my opinion. So I'm gonna, like here it went, I think a bit too directly down. See, I didn't erase it before doing the right line. Yes, I'm learning. I think this kind of makes sense. I think so. This, I'll try to find a bit less soft pencil next time, because I feel like this is just like, I'm a child of 90s, so I remember what's like putting your eyeliner in your waterline, like that black Kajal eyeliner. And this feels exactly the same. Nobody's gonna, like, only girls or emos, or emo girls or emo guys are gonna understand what I mean. But those who have used black Kajal will absolutely understand what I mean, and will understand how soft this is. So I did, I think, one eye. It looks a bit sad. It really looks like a bit sad. So I'll put this up a little bit, just so it looks less sad. Which, I mean, it makes no sense because we don't have our skull doesn't change when we change our expression, but you know. Then I have this part, which should be the mirror image, so it should be this thing on the other side. So I don't know why this is, well, who cares. So this is going down here. Would it be helpful if I posted like the picture of what we're going to draw? So if you want, you can like print it, download it, and copy it by yourself. Would that be helpful? Tell me. Or if there's something else I can do to make this more of a shared experience, because I don't want it to be like about me, about not looking, but like, you know, about just myself learning. I think we should take this time to do something fun and, you know, just appreciate art while doing it. Because the other days we appreciate art by, you know, talking about art, but I feel like Thursdays are for appreciating art while doing it. That's what I would like our Thursdays to be. So yeah, just find your way of appreciating art by doing it on Thursdays. And again, if you have like a sketchbook or stuff like that, I think that would be a great thing to do. So I don't think I really followed that that idea mostly over here, but I do think there is like a lot of shadows. Also, this is bigger. In this, I think I made this a bit too small for some reason. It didn't look small, but now that I'm looking at it like as a whole, I think it is small. So yes, I shouldn't have erased all of that, but I feel like I can't make it a lot bigger if I don't have like the space to actually open it up. This looks huge now. I think it's really funny how much like these things change just from like a brush stroke. Well, not a brush, but you know. This other eye looks sad as well. I think it's maybe it's the upper corner here that it's too, you know, but like that, it looks a bit sad. This part over here, I really thought I was going to be better at drawing, honestly. But I am not. And when I get frustrated, then you can see that my hand becomes very nervous. I can have a very nervous hand. So I'm trying to keep it a bit softer. But also, you know, I shouldn't, you know, nobody should expect to be great from the beginning. It's just not how, in my opinion, these things work. We would like it to be that way, but it's just not how it works. You can have like, I think, a better sensibility in your hands. Like, I think that was very important for me when I started making jewelry, that I think a really good sensibility towards metals, like when they're going to break, when they're not going to break, and how I feel them in my hands. I really like it, and also I think I feel it more than other people, but apparently I don't have it for drawing. So anyway, so here it's very dark, the shadowing is very dark. Why is this not working? I've no idea. So there is a line that goes from basically the temple bone, goes up here and around the eye. But it closes a little bit, so I think I didn't. So it has a bit of an S shape. Can you see it here? It does something like this. Well, then it becomes, it becomes the cheekbones. I hadn't thought about that. So it goes somewhere around the skull. This is like super interesting also. I think now I understand why people who paint or draw look at people differently. I mean, I obviously start to understand it rather than understand it, but I do think that there is, I mean, it's amazing to understand how the skull works, stuff like that. I think it's just amazing. Anyway, so here there is a lot of shadow. As you can see, my hand is becoming nervous again. Still think that eye looks quite sad. It's a sad eye. It's a really kind of sad eye, but I think maybe I should put more, it should be a shorter eye. I wanted to erase it, but I'm trying not to before I change it. But if I do this, then I should also have this going, starting from here. So let's see how that would work. Also, I love these kind of, what they call erasers. I honestly, I found out that they exist like 2 years ago, just because my partner did some like technical drawing, because he's an engineer, boring engineer. He can hear me. So, and now I love them. Now I have like, I would love to have many more of them. So I think that's a bit better. They look very different, the two eyes, which is not what I wanted them to look. I think it's because it's too arched. They're not flat enough. So I think that they look better now. They look a bit flatter. They were a bit, round instead of a rectangle, which was what I was supposed to start from. So I think that's a bit better. And should I start putting the nose in now? Is it too early? Should I do this better? Can I? Will I ever be able to? Yes, I will, obviously. But I don't want to like rush into it just because I want to see how bad it will be when it's finished. So, but I think I've done that part, kind of. Then I'll go on like working on it. So going on to the nose, the idea is that it's an upside down U. So it's something like that with two sides, but it needs to go a bit, you know, it needs to open a bit, so because it's a U, so it does something like that. This is like bouncing now, which is not helping my already wonderful hand. So it's something like that, and here is all shaded, and this is shaded. So that's the idea. And from there it becomes this very complicated thing. I'm not sure how I should address that. It has like kind of a pyramid. So let's take it. I'm starting again because that wasn't good. So let's start from this, like the tip of the nose. Well, it's not actually the tip of the nose, it's the, you know, the part here, the actually bony part of the nose. And then we have, you know, this part that's opening up. So it should open up something like that. And it should be, I'm trying to draw some planes so that I know like my lines, where my lines are. Like this, it's absolutely wrong. I can't actually believe that I'm doing this on like live, so that everybody can know how bad I am at this. But honestly, this has been one of the best ways of keeping myself accountable, so I think that's fine. So that goes down there, and then we have another plane that should be parallel to that one because it's the perspective, so it goes somewhere like that, and then we have another one. I think that drawing like my planes helps me a lot, but then I get them wrong. I should learn how to use like perspective. This is too far away. I should have done like a course on that before I started trying to draw at a 45-degree angle. But, you know, it's fine. I'll learn as I go, and that's absolutely fine. I don't need to learn. So is that, you see, one of the things that is a bit, you know, weird for me is that these two planes, so this and that, are parallel, but then this one is absolutely not parallel, so that's what's confusing at the moment. So these two planes are much, like they're less steep, so it could go something like that. That doesn't look right at all, because I think that this is not right. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish the nose today because it has already, usually this thing tells me like how long I've been online for, but it's not today for some reason, so I don't know what's happening. I think this would be better like this and like this. It kind of looks like that, but I just don't see a nose in it. So from the half point here, it comes down, and then it opens up and gets like, this goes over here, goes somewhere like that. I think this looks like super weird. And this should all be in shadow, so something like that. And this should be in shadow, so that we understand like where it's getting in and where it's getting out. So I think that's where it should be, and also obviously a bit here because it's the part underneath. and slightly over here. I think I kind of understood what's the shape of the nose, but I think that we have to go on next Thursday because, I'm sorry, I'm really slow at this. But I'm trying to learn, and hopefully you've learned something with me, or you've just taken a break and have done something creative for the last 30 minutes. And I think the 30 minutes are up, and I'll see you tomorrow. So be prepared for all the art news, because that's what we're going to do tomorrow. And I'm really excited to share all that's happened this week. And I'll see you tomorrow. And continue, if you have more time, please continue to do what creative endeavor you're doing, because it is great. And I really have to force myself, because I would like to go on for the next 4, 5 hours. So if you have the time, please do. Bye.